Hi, everybody. This is John Schellenberger coming to you from Viva La Vegan Grocery in Rancho Cucamonga. Veganism. It's a subject that's misunderstood by many people. And I thought it was important to bring you, the viewers at home, that subject, and I couldn't think of a better place to do that than right here at Viva La Vegan Grocery. We're going to speak to the owners of this establishment, and we're going to ask them, they're going to let them tell you in their own words why Viva La Vegan exists, but more importantly, I'd like them to tell you what veganism is all about and why it's so important to those who practice it every day. We're also going to be showcasing some of the other products that they have available to you that are alternatives to things that you buy every single day in a supermarket. Today's program is going to be very fun and very educational. So with that, let's get our visit started today with the Viva La Vegan Grocery in Rancho Cucamonga. The best place to start our visit today with the Viva La Vegan Grocery is with Arlo Taves. He's co-owner of this establishment here in Rancho Cucamonga, and I wanted to take a minute of his time, ask him why this establishment exists in this community and what its purpose is. Arlo Taves, thank you so much for joining us today on the program. And again, tell us why Viva La Vegan exists here in the community and what is its purpose?
Well, thank you too, John, for being here with me. We're here. We're here for a lot of reasons. We have kind of a different way of living. We have a different way of going about the foods that we eat, and we want to share that with the community. We want to teach people to eat a way that's better for their health, better for the environment, and better for the animals. And that's really the sole purpose of our being here.
Now, you mentioned an interesting point, is better for the animals. A lot of people don't understand the vegans' philosophy and their way of life. This isn't just a better way of eating. It's a lifestyle for the vegans, and a lot of people are uneducated on that piece of it. So I would like you to give the opportunity. I wanted to give you the opportunity to tell the viewers at home that portion of it.
Okay. Well, veganism is a way of eating and a way of living, not only eating, that doesn't use animals. That doesn't use animals for anything, for food, for clothing, for entertainment, and respects them as the creatures that they are. We don't want to enslave anybody. And what that means to a lot of people, when you say that, they envision immediately, they go, oh, well then a vegan store, then you have a couple of carrots and some blue chips and a couple bottles of water. No, we actually have pretty much everything that anybody's used to eating, within reason, but we have a different version of it. You know, if somebody wanted to come in here and they wanted to get salmon, we have vegan salmon. You want Twinkies? We got them. And then we have produce, and we also have bulk, and we have grains. We have vegan shoes. They don't look any different than regular shoes, but they just don't have the suffering attached to them. You know?
And you mentioned an interesting point about the alternatives with the food and everything, which we're going to take a tour of the store a little bit later on in the show. I like that because there's things that I've tried in your freezer case, such as the vegan Gardein is one of the products you carry, and it's a beef alternative.
Gardein is mostly a chicken alternative, but it's alternative meats. You're right. There is a beef one. There's a hamburger. You're right. Yeah. There's pork, but a lot of their products are chicken. But yeah, what did you think of it?
I liked it. It was a very good alternative. In fact, I tried the chicken. I tried I think it was the glazed chicken one. Mm-hmm. It was very good. You knew what it was when you ate it. But it's a vegan vegetarian alternative. Yeah. But it was every bit as satisfying to me, because I'm a person who grew up on poultry and all that kind of a thing. So trying something new, I'm not afraid of that. But if it tastes good, I'm coming back.
Yeah. I tell a lot of my customers, you're 5 years old again. You're figuring out what you like and what you don't like when you come into this store. If you're used to eating a certain brand of sour cream and you've been eating that for 20 years, then when you try our sour cream, it's not, your brain's going to automatically think, oh, well, it should taste this way. And it's not. It's going to taste different. And so if you don't like that one, there's another one. Then if you don't like that one, there's another one. And that's true for a lot of our products. I mean, if it's hot dogs, hamburgers, if you're used to eating a hamburger and you want a certain thing out of it, then you might try one of the ones here and think it's not good. I mean, there's things I don't like in the store, but there's a lot of things I do too. And the idea is just to experiment and find the ones that work for you. And there's a great benefit to doing that experimentation to your body. Like I said before, to your body. First off, and I mean that's why a lot of people move this direction first, is for their health, but then also the environment. I mean, there's nothing you can do that can have a greater positive impact on the planet than eating and living a vegan lifestyle.
You know, a lot of people are becoming a lot more aware of that particular topic, being better to the environment, but they don't tie veganism in with that. They just don't. They think about recycling their cans and bottles and all that kind of a thing, or doing other things, but they don't think about this as being a big part of that as far as vegans are concerned.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, without going into too much depth, the environment, think of global warming. One of the leading contributors to global warming, animal food industry. We're not supporting that here. One of the leaders of water pollution, animal food industry. In fact, I think it is the leader. It pollutes more water than any other industry, the animal food industry. We don't promote that here. Also, water consumption. We all running around. We got low-flow toilets in our houses, have for 20 or 30 years, or maybe longer, I don't know. But they're out there wasting tons and tons of water at a horrible exchange ratios. So the amount of resources, the amount of that water that is used to produce that food would be much less if people were eating vegetable-based foods.
Like, you know, for growing vegetables or the grains and all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I've heard somewhere that 80% of the grains grown are fed to livestock. I'm not certain about that number exactly, but that's what I've heard. 80%. Imagine if we redirected that. What that would look like to the planet. There'd be less hunger. There'd be more resources to go around. Less land would have to be used because you wouldn't have to produce as much food out of the land to sustain the planet. You know,
and I think that's important for people at home to understand and realize that a lot of people are getting the finished product when they go to buy something, but they don't realize what's going on in the background to make all that possible. And so with the vegans, they have everything that people like, but like you say, with less impact on the environment and a lot healthier for your body.
Absolutely, I do, and you know what? We're doing that headache for people. See, we have a lot of companies out there that are out to make a buck, and that's the bottom line. They don't care about anything else. They want to make money, and we want to make money. Yes, we want to do that. But if there's a product that's not going to be a positive thing for our customers, we're going to pull it. We're going to pull it off the shelf. If it's not something that's being produced sustainably and in a way that is consistent with our values, we're going to pull it off the shelf, and you're not going to see it here. So you don't have to. It's kind of worry-free shopping in a sense. You know, you don't have to. We're doing the worrying for you.
Got it. And again, and the philosophy that you share is the vegan philosophy, and this is why they feel. This is how they feel about that topic as far as companies, etc. This is the reason that they're vegan, is because it's not just maybe a better way of eating was the core, like you say, was for me. I'm a vegetarian now, as to where I a year ago.
We'll work on you, John. Don't worry about it.
And I'm happy with that. But that was some years of eating wrong. And then I met a gentleman that I work with who helped get me. I was ready. I just was uneducated. So he's a vegan, and we're going to meet him later on in the show. But just the little bit of exposure he gave me to eating vegetarian has made a difference in my life. I lost 20 pounds in about a month. Yeah. You know, just changing my diet, and it made me feel better. I was ready to stop the drive-thrus and everything else, and just making that small change gradually. I was halfway there, but I just didn't understand everything else that was available to me. You know, and then once I did that, I felt better. I felt lighter. And for me personally, it worked better for me. There's some things I enjoy, but as far as, you know, overall, the quality of my life is better by going vegetarian. Vegan is a big step for me.
Imagine how much better it would be if you went that route. You
know, but I mean, to me, Viva La Vegan, long live the vegan. Isn't that kind of a catchphrase?
That's basically what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Healthier.
Yeah, it's healthier for everybody. Yeah.
And in fact, there's a gentleman that the gentleman you're going to meet later on in the show, Carlos. He gave me a book, and I can't remember the gentleman's name. He's Bragg, humongous vegetarian.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Paul Bragg.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Braggs, the products, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He and his daughter. Tremendous advocates for this subject. He gave me a book about them and who they are and how they've helped. There was people from celebrities and everything else that took on his philosophy, and they said you could live to be 120 if that's what you want. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you just get yourself a plant and vegetable based diet, mm-hmm. it's that simple. But it's just changing the way you do things.
Very true. I don't know about living to 120, but I know we're living better. Yeah. I know I'm going to live better. I know I'm not looking towards diabetes. I'm not looking towards heart disease. I'm not looking towards those things because it's virtually non-existent when you eat a vegan diet. And it can even reverse those diseases. We've seen it. We've had customers come in here many times that they have ailments, they have sickness. They come in. They start eating the foods, buying foods from here, eating primarily foods from our store, and 3 months later, 4 months later, they come back and they talk about all the weight that they lost. They talk about how their doctor is saying that there's some sort of miracle going on because their cholesterol levels are coming down, and and maybe they were diabetic, and that's getting better. And even cancer patients are sometimes reversing their the cancer by eating vegan diets. And
it's possible. It's possible to do it without medications, etc. It is possible to reverse some of those damaging effects on our body.
Yes, virtually. I mean, the leading things that kill people in the United States are preventable by eating this way.
Better lifestyle. And when you give us our tour, we're going to see some of the healthier alternatives. I mean, even as cake mixes you have here, they're vegan, vegetarian or vegan cake mixes. Or
I tell people it's everything. We have everything. Yes, we've got cake mixes, we've got cookie mixes, we got pancake mixes, we got alternatives to eggs, we have alternatives to chicken and beef, and we even have a unique product called bee-free honey. It's honey, but it's not. It's not made from a bee. Okay. So we're not exploiting a bee. And we have a lot of just pretty much everything you're used to having, just another version.
Awesome.
So people ask you that I get requests a lot of the time from people. They're having functions somewhere and they say, "Hey, we want to get your store involved. Would you bring some samples?" I'm like, "Yeah, but what would I bring? I want to bring the whole store." I mean, we have I think almost 6,000 items in here, and I'm supposed to pick 3 or 4 of them that are supposed to reflect what our store is. And that's really, I can't do that.
The better thing to do is come here and then see what we've got.
Well, we got a giant space here. So if somebody's going to have some kind of vegan get together or something, come talk to me. We'll do it here, or vegetarian get together. Well, it'd have to be vegan, I guess, here. But where they want to, where they need a space and it connects to somehow to what we're doing, does something positive for the environment, nonprofit, anything like that for animals. We've got space here, so do it here. Yeah, sure. That sounds like a great idea.
And this is an opportunity for people to have a place to do that, to come here and maybe hold a fundraiser for that cause.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this space isn't. That's what it's here for. It's for people for all of us to come together and start having this positive impact on the planet.
Well, with that, you're going to give us a tour of the store. We're going to visit some of the, like you said, we're going to look at some of the other products that alternatives to the things that the people buy every day. But before we do that, congratulations are in order. You just became a new father, and you have a beautiful, brand new baby boy. And tell the viewers at home about that new arrival.
Well, he's doing great. His name's Keaton, and he's letting us sleep maybe an hour or two every night. And my wife is amazing. She's through the whole birth and through taking care of the baby and everything and feeding him. She's just really been a rock star. I'm really proud of her, actually. She's really doing a good job. And he's a vegan baby, definitely. I mean, he is eating mother's milk right now, but I think that would be considered vegan. To eat the milk of your own species is definitely vegan, actually.
And this is going to be an interesting thing to see as this young man progresses, how he was raised on a vegan diet, and as time goes by, how he'll differ from a lot of his peers who have not been raised on a vegan diet, and they can see that it isn't cruelty to a child for not giving him an ice cream cone. You know what I mean? You're doing something positive for him.
Absolutely. Even while my wife was pregnant, people are concerned then, oh, the baby's going to come out small or be deprived of these nutrients or this. He came out at regular baby size. I think he was 6 pounds 11 ounces. I mean, that's what I was born to, and my mother wasn't vegan. So far we got a good start. Everything's he has all his fingers, he has all his toes, you know, and
looks good.
Yeah, he's doing great. Other than he's on a little different sleep schedule than me, but he's doing good. Yeah.
All right. Well, Arlo, and with that, you're going to go ahead and take us on our tour,
Okay.
and we're going to go ahead and get that started right now. This is actually one of my favorite sections of the store because I like to. They have products that alternatives to things that I use every day because I like to, take my lunch, make my sandwiches, that kind of thing. Arlo's going to just talk about some of the various products that are available, such as the vegan. I call it veganese. It could be veganese. It's like a mayonnaise alternative. Arlo, showcase some of these items for the people at home and show them what's available to them.
Well, you know what? There's the veganese, like you mentioned, and there's several different ones. We actually have some flavored ones. It's a mayonnaise alternative, right? A lot of people say, well, is it like mayonnaise? Yeah, you know what? It's mayonnaise, and it just doesn't have egg in it. It doesn't have chickens and little crates attached to it. And so then we have that, and then we have some flavored ones. This one right here is really popular, the Chipotle veganese, veganese. I don't know how to pronounce it either. That one is flying off the shelves, and also we have all these dressings too. We have tons of different dressings, things that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see a vegan version of. We actually have 3 different ranches. We have creamy garlic, and then Italian and Thousand Island and honey mustard, but it's no honey in it. There's no animal products in any of them.
Now, I actually tried the Thousand Island, and I really enjoyed that. It's got a very good taste to it. In fact, I like it a little bit better than the regular stuff that I'm used to. I like the grapeseed oil, veganese. I use that a lot. Now, the Chipotle one is more of a sandwich spread, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's more something you'd throw on a sandwich. Yeah.
Now
I'm sorry. I dip taquitos in it. Actually, though, I'm guilty of that. You guys will see that in a little bit in the frozen section. We sell taquitos and rolled tacos, and the first week I tried one of those, I think I went through 3 of them. Yeah.
Well, when something tastes good, you can't get enough of it. Now, you also have which I mentioned as far as the luncheon meats and stuff like that, alternatives to it. The tofurkey, which I enjoy that. And you have other brands as well. Give us a little bit of a background of that.
Yeah, well, tofurkey is probably the biggest one as far as sandwich meats go. But then we also have the field roast. Field roast has sandwich slices, and then they have tons of other alternatives. Man, I don't even know where to get started, but there's it's not just tofu. We do have a little bit of tofu here. I know a lot of people think that that's what a vegan eats. They eat tofu and that's it. And it's funny because we actually have a very small tofu section, but we do have it. We carry some organic tofus, and we also have these wraps down here. They're burrito flour tortillas, and they're raw. So when you take them home and you throw them on the pan, you're actually getting something much more similar to a restaurant-style tortilla. That's a fresh tortilla, Anyway, yeah.
Well, the reason I say it's my favorite is because it's stuff that I would use daily. So and I like the fact that when I use these products, it's good for me. I don't have to worry about cholesterol. I don't have to worry about any of that kind of a thing. It takes all the worry out of it for me, which is I can enjoy it, and it's healthy. So,
as I always say, it's better for you. It's better for the animals, and it's definitely better for the planet too.
Okay, we're going to move on to a fun part of the frozen section, showing you some of the finger foods and everything else that I like. A fun part of their frozen section here is some of the alternatives that you can get to some of your favorite dairy treats, which I like. There's Garden Pops. There's the Tofutti, I think it is Tofutti. Yeah, like a ice cream cone. And I wanted Arlo just to share with you just a couple of the things that are available to you here that look very tempting and of course that are so much better for you. Let's start with the Garden Pops.
Cool. The Garden Pops, they are kind of a well, if you like playing tricks on your kid, they're perfect for you. They are a bunch of fruits and vegetables, but they're made into something that a kid will want to eat. It's a frozen sort of dessert, frozen pop, obviously. the word. And so they're a way of getting fruits and vegetables into your kids without them knowing it, in a sense.
Okay.
Now, we also have, like you mentioned, the one of the tofutti products. There's a lot of different tofutti products, but one of them that happens to be a lot of people's favorite here is the caramel sundaes. And it's a cone, and then it's got ice cream on it with chocolate coating on the outside, and in the center it's got caramel, and then the chocolate goes down into the cone also. Now, we also have all the different kinds of ice cream here. We have the coconut-based ice creams, we have the cashew-based ice creams, we have the rice-based ice creams, soy, and probably some other ones that I'm forgetting right now, but several alternatives for people.
Now, the reason I wanted to showcase this is because so many people enjoy these types of things in the dairy world, for lack of a better word, but they're lactose intolerant. They want that fun treat, but they know they may pay for it after they eat it because of the lactose intolerance. A lot of these products you can enjoy, and they taste every bit as good, if not better, and you don't have that worry.
You know what, that's true. And, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I was just reading yesterday, I can't remember the specific numbers, but I do remember reading that there's the number is very large of people in the United States that are lactose intolerant, then milk doesn't agree with their bodies. And being that number is so high, I think that this product is a great alternative for those people. And also, I think there's potentially a lot of people that are eating those products, and their insensitivity is a bit low, right. And they don't realize that they don't realize why their stomach's upset or their sinuses are not clear. Right. And so they may have a lactose intolerance, So these are just kind of an alternative that helps people know that they're not getting that lactose and not polluting their body that way.
On that lactose subject, there's also frozen pizzas that you have here, which is tremendously popular in the United States landscape. But people love the frozen pizza business. It's for convenience, for fun, etc. Talk about some of those items that you have available.
Yes, we have several frozen pizzas. We have the ones that are from a local restaurant that makes vegan frozen pizzas for us, that are more like a restaurant-style frozen pizza, or not frozen pizza, more like a restaurant-style pizza. But then we also have the more box-style frozen pizzas, which are more similar to what people expect a boxed frozen pizza to be like. We have one in particular that I think is really unique. It's a newer product. We're one of the few stores that carry it, and it's called Oh Yes. Okay. And it's really unique in the fact that they have two different ones, and in the sauce for this pizza, they put in 13 different fruits and vegetables. Okay, it has papaya and I forget if it's spinach or kale, but has tons of vegetables in there. So it's kind of like the Garden Pops. You can trick your kids to eat their vegetables. One of them is gluten-free. The other one's not. The gluten-free one has a quinoa crust. It's out of this world, and both very good products. And then we have all the other regular frozen pizzas. We have some that are gluten-free, some that aren't, but and there's some new ones coming too.
See, that I wanted to be sure and mention that, because when you stop in here at Viva La Vegan, take a look at some of those frozen pizzas, and I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised. And take one home and try it. You might really enjoy that. We're going to go on to our next section now. I thought it was important to talk to some of the people that shop here at Viva La Vegan Grocery in Rancho Cucamonga. And with us is Michael. And I wanted to just stop him for a minute, ask him what made him make a decision to come into this market and start shopping and looking at all the different products that are available to him, the alternatives. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today on our show. And again, what's the draw? What brings you in here to Viva La Vegan?
Well, it's nice to have in our area a vegan store, because I'm trying to get a little more healthier in my diet. You can see I'm getting a little weight here. I'm trying to lose the weight, get a little more healthier. There's so many chemicals and byproducts and things that it's just nice. My oldest daughter is actually not wanting to eat meats and things, so we're coming here to actually find better meals for dinner. for lunch for them. And as they're doing it, I'm actually getting involved in starting to eat more in vegan restaurants. And having the Viva La Vegan right here, it's wonderful because it's just right down the street from where I live.
It's right in your neighborhood. You can come right down here. And like you said, it has all the different alternatives to what you buy every day in a regular supermarket with a healthy alternative.
It does. It actually has a lot because they expanded recently, and that's bringing me even more. They used to be a little smaller. Now they expanded more. There's more here to look at and to experiment with, try to eat, and see if it tastes good, and slowly acquire the taste for things without all the chemicals and all the, I don't want to say poisons, but
Right.
but just try to be a little more healthier, and my kids want it, we want it. It's just a better lifestyle. You actually feel better when you eat vegan food. You really do. You feel less bloated and full, and it's just healthier for you.
He's absolutely correct, because that's how I would feel after a heavy meal. I would feel so tired and weighed down that I wouldn't want to get up and walk after your meal like you really should. After an evening meal, it's important to get out and exercise and do your walking,
Right.
but I didn't feel like it.
Right.
But like you said, when you eat a healthier way, it makes you feel a lot better and a lot lighter. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today, and congratulations on your decision and your new journey.
Well, I hope it turns out well, and like I said, my wife and I have been discussing the meat, the beef and things it doesn't taste the same anymore to us, and vegan food and alternatives is much, much better.
Well said. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is a fun part of the store, a frozen part that I wanted to look at really quick. It has some of the fun foods, alternatives actually to things that people buy every day. Like there's various items. There's like sliders and taquitos, etc. Arlo, just give us a little bit of a background of what's available here.
Okay, well, there's what you would expect. There's the veggie burgers, and there's we have raviolis and prepared meals of all kinds of different types, Asian foods, that sort of thing. But we also have things that you might not necessarily think a vegan store would have. We have calamari. It's vegan calamari, and vegan scallops. We have shrimp and fish fillets. We also have taquitos, rolled tacos, spring rolls. I guess you'd expect that, and several other things. Tons of burritos, and then of course there's the Gardein products, which those are really popular these days, and they're a comfort food. They're kind of they're great for people that really want to transition into this way, but they're used to eating something else, so it helps them transition to a vegan diet. And
that's me. And we mentioned at the beginning of the show the Gardein products, which is one of the first things that you introduced me to try, and I did, and I like the chicken strips. I used that recently in a stir fry recipe that I had. It comes with a flavor packet, and if it's cooked right, the texture is there, and it really gave a nice texture and a nice flavor to what I was cooking. It actually, I actually prefer it to chicken because it's better for me. It's much better for me. Now, and I also tried the rolled tacos. I was a little skeptical about it, and I didn't know how it was going to taste. It was a lot better than what I thought it was. So I just wanted to make sure I showcase this for you, the viewers at home, to come and try some of these products. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Viva La Vegan Grocery. It's more than just that. They actually have shoes and clothing. Well, that part of their business is building. And I wanted Arlo just take a minute to tell us about some of the various shoe styles and stuff that they offer here at Viva La Vegan.
Yeah, well, we try and have a little bit of everything. Our shoe section isn't enormous these days, but we do have, these boots, they look like they're leather. They probably taste like they're leather, but they really aren't leather. And what that means is that we're not supporting that industry. We're not supporting an industry that exploits and really harms the planet and harms our health. So we're promoting something that's better.
And they're well made too, I could tell.
Yeah, all these brands that we carry, we make sure that we're carrying the best brands of the vegan shoes. There are a lot of vegan shoes out there that are just kind of vegan by default. A lot of the time they're the cheap shoes. But these are actually vegetarian shoes. We get these come all the way from Europe. They're European company.
That's a nice little hiking shoe there.
It is. They're all, and you know what? I look at it sometimes. I'm like, really? Is that not leather? Because it really is.
It looks like real suede.
But it does. Yeah, it looks like leather. And
some of the casual dress shoes.
yeah. These are actually, I think these are these are vegetarian shoe also. They really make a diverse thing. I think we have somewhere around here. Yeah, we have some women's shoes too. Not a whole lot.
Okay.
But, we have a little bit of that, and we also carry some big bats, which are more like a skate shoe, a little more younger generation here.
Okay.
But,
I wanted the viewers at home to see this section to show that it's not just eating healthier, but it's also making healthier decisions in the apparel, because there's a lot of that's another thing that's very important to vegans, is that not just the consumption of the animal, but also their skins and all that, the entire animal.
Yeah.
They're not going there.
Yeah.
Leave them alone. That's exactly what they want.
What I try and tell people, and it's really hard for a lot of people to accept this, but what I try and say is, if you can accept putting a person in the position where you put that animal, then I'm for it. Go for it. But if you can't accept putting another human in that position, I personally can't accept putting another animal in that position. From a humanitarian standpoint, we want to be good people. Why are we cutting off others' heads? Why are we enslaving them? Why are we putting them in cages? When we want to be good people, we should be promoting something that's kind to these animals. Let them have their life.
And I'm glad that he said that, because that's how the vegan people feel about animal rights. It's very important to them, and this is their philosophy and their view. So I want to move on to the next section, which is I wanted to do the cake mixes and everything else, and I wanted to kind of segment it in with the other ones, but I wanted to just shoot over here real quick and show that the diversity in this store and what's available to the viewers out there.
You do say. I do want to also say that just because we have this philosophy, you don't have to have our philosophy to shop here. You can have a different approach. It might just be that you want to eat healthier, and we're here for that. And it may be that you want to promote the environment. You want to be better steward of the environment. We're here for that. You might just come in here because you want some product that you can't get somewhere else. Okay, we're here for that. This is our mission, and we're happy for you to come in here and join us in any capacity.
Okay, on to our next stop. Recently, I made a decision to actually change the way that I was eating, and yet I just didn't know how to get there. And joining us now is a gentleman, Carlos Vasquez, who I met along my journey on a better way of eating and actually a better, healthier lifestyle. And he helped me get assimilated to that and get educated on that subject. And I wanted to take a few minutes of his time, introduce you, the viewers at home, to him, and let him give you in his own words what made him decide to take the path to veganism that he's on right now, which was this is a lifetime journey for him. So, and it was the right decision for him, and a lot of people are benefiting from his knowledge, and I wanted to just introduce you to him now. This is Carlos Vasquez. Thank you so much for joining us today on Life in SoCal. And tell the viewers at home, what was the turning point for you? What made you decide it's time for me to make this change in my life?
Thank you, John. Well, it was quite a bit of a journey, so to speak. It started about 7 or 8 years back. And initially, what sparked me to get into healthier lifestyles and a healthier diet was the fact that I wasn't feeling very healthy. I felt like I was losing my youthful energy, my youthful spark, so to speak. And I got into looking into eating healthier, and eventually, once you do that, you're going to run into vegetarianism and veganism, no doubt about it. And once you do that, you obviously see the way animals are treated, the conventional farming methods. You get more and more information on what's in your food, the way it's processed, what happens from point A to point B, from where your food comes from to where it ends up at your table. So initially, if I had to say what sparked me to eat healthier, it was my health. Now, it's been a long journey, and it's so much more than that. Now it's not just about the way I feel, it's about the impact on the environment, the well-being of the animals, what you can do for other people, and it's just so much more than that.
And that's an interesting point. Not only just for your benefit, but for the benefit of others, because let's face it, in our country today, we have a very high rate of obesity, heart disease, cancers, blood diseases, all kinds of different things, and the way the food is processed could be playing a role in that. You know, my own father died from cancer because of our excessive lifestyle, so to speak, because we have so much available to us in this country, and it's a wonderful thing. But yet, when you have access to so many different things, and a lot of us aren't educated enough to make the right choices on a continual basis. It can have long-term effects on your health. And I'm sure that was probably a concern of yours, but not just for you, but for your family and for the people that are in your life. Wouldn't you say that that's true?
Yes, definitely. One of the most rewarding things now, as far as being a vegan, is being able to help others work towards that lifestyle as well. A little bit goes a long way. I never push anybody to do it overnight. I never try to force it on anybody. Most people that know that I am vegan simply come to me requesting additional information. I try to give them as much as I can and give them the benefits of it, and then obviously help them along the way if there's anything they need help with, as far as, where to go to buy this, or what recipes to try, or what's the best way to transition from their current diet to a full vegan diet. Again, it doesn't have to be something that's done overnight. That doesn't work for everybody. It's just like, say, quitting any other addiction. Not everyone can quit cold turkey, but you can do it eventually if you put your mind to it. So I'd recommend it for anybody, and I'd say if anybody's interested in it, just reach out. There's plenty of information on the web. There's plenty of groups on the web. Come into the store here. Everybody here would be more than willing to help. Reach out to us. I mean, we're friendly people. We want others to be vegan, be vegetarian, and be informed. So there's a lot of information out there. You just have to reach out and touch somebody, so to say, and get them to help you.
The one thing that I can say that annoyed me, for the lack of a better word, was that people had a misconception about vegans as being these people from another planet, and that is such an uneducated conclusion to draw. All you're doing is telling other people how to be healthier and how to be happier just by eating the foods that are available to you from the ground every day. Right. And not eating things that are processed and over-processed with so many things that you don't need. And that's the purpose that I wanted to do with this program, is to educate people on the vegan life and the vegan culture. Because all it is just using the resources that we have naturally to eat better, feel better, and live a happier long-term life. Wouldn't you say that that's the goal?
Yes, exactly. I would agree. To your point, John, it goes back to a little more simplicity. Food in its natural state, less processing as possible. When you look at the big picture, that equates to a lot of less resources used. It's going to take a lot less resources to bring a fresh apple from a tree to your table than to have it go through a factory that's going to consume a lot of resources to process that food and package it. And, it's simplicity. So when you look at the big picture, you're using less resources, you're eating healthier. So, again, it's better for you. It's better for the overall picture. There's less resources used, better for the environment. Again, better for the animals' well-being. So, overall, it's a win-win situation.
I couldn't have summed it up better. Carlos, thank you so much for joining us and for taking a moment to talk to the viewers at home and enlightening them on what this is all about. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks, John.
As I mentioned earlier in the show, I wanted to take a minute and stop by the cake mix section because, well, first of all, I have a sweet tooth, and I love good cakes. And I wanted Arlo to show you some of the various cake mixes that are available to people, because there's a difference in some of the ingredients that are available. And Arlo, to show us, like, for instance, the peanut-free. A lot of people can't enjoy frostings or cake mixes because of the peanut element in there. So just touch on some of these cake mixes.
Well, you know what? You pretty much hit it there. There is the peanut-free. We also have a lot of customers, though, that don't eat gluten. They're gluten-free. And so those customers, they also have many alternatives for them. For the major allergens, there tends to be a lot of alternatives here. And it's cakes, but it's anything you're baking. I mean, you also have pancake mixes and waffle mixes. The cakes are a great part of it, though. And there's sort of, it seems to be that somebody has come up with an alternative for anybody with any allergy, when it comes to the cake mixes, which I think is great.
That I like that, because it gives people who really enjoy a nice cake the opportunity to enjoy that again and not have to worry about it, because all the worry is taken out. and like you say, well, I can't eat. Now, I did want to mention something that caught my eye when I've been in here before is the waffle mixes. You say you and your wife have been trying a certain brand and you've become somewhat addicted to that.
You know what? Actually, it wasn't the waffle mix. Well, yeah, we did actually the pancake and waffle mix. We were making pancakes from it. But a new one that we came across recently was the French toast mix.
Oh, French toast mix.
That's what it was.
Okay.
And yes, that's our new favorite. Yeah.
So, and that's a gluten-free product?
I think it is. I'm not certain. It's right here.
Okay.
You know what? This one is not a gluten-free product, I don't think. But there are several other gluten-free products. Yeah, yeah.
And I guess overall my point is I want you, the viewers at home, to come by and take a look at this section. You might be pleasantly surprised at the texture, the quality, and the taste of these products, because when you see these types of things, you're like, no, it can't be as good as the stuff that we usually make with the eggs and the oil and this, that, and the other. You might be pleasantly surprised. So when you do stop into Viva La Vegan, make sure to stop by here and take a look at this products. Well, I've certainly enjoyed my visit today at Viva La Vegan Grocery right here in Rancho Cucamonga, and I wanted to wrap up the show with the co-owner, Arlo, and I wanted him to give an opportunity to invite you, the viewers at home, to come on out and see exactly for yourself everything that they have available here at Viva La Vegan Grocery. I didn't want to show you everything. I just wanted to give you just a tidbit of what's available, because that way you'll come on out for yourselves and see what they have available. Arlo, thank you so much for facilitating this tour today and educating the folks at home and myself on the subject of veganism. But I wanted you to have an opportunity to invite the viewers at home to come on out and visit you here at Viva La Vegan.
Yeah, awesome. Come visit us. We're at 9456 Robert Street. In Rancho Cucamonga. Once again, that's 9456 Robert Street in Rancho Cucamonga. And if you forget that or didn't catch it, we're also online at vivalavegangrocery.com. You got to remember the grocery, though. vivalavegangrocery.com. And yeah, we'd be happy to see you here. Also, oh, by the way, vivalavegangrocery.com, we don't have all of our products online. We have about half of them. But if somebody doesn't live near us and they want to get some of the products that we carry, we have about, I think, around 3,000 products online now. It's that same, if you go to that same website, vivalavegangrocery.com, you can click on shop online and it'll take you to our online store.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah. So, well, thank you, John, for coming out and doing this little bit on us.
We sure enjoyed our visit, and you know, to me, each time I visit, each time I become exposed to someone who is a vegan or vegetarian, I just get a little bit more educated, and I grow a little bit more in my journey. So again, thanks for facilitating this tour.
Yeah, and well, that's why we're here too. We are an education source for people. We want to educate people. We want to teach them another way of doing things. You know, and that's our purpose. So if somebody comes in here and somebody doesn't, if you come in here, not you, but if somebody viewing this comes in here and they're looking around and they don't know where to start, ask somebody here. Don't think it's not okay to ask. We're here to support people. Yeah.
Our vegan community, they're another part of our life in SoCal. I'm John Schollenberger. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again next time.